And the drinking became really bad there in Amsterdam when I was there. I was living on my own, a lot of drinking, a lot of smoking pot every day. Every day I was drunk. I did that for about 2 years. My act, and I went to advertising for a bit, like I've come to be really good at in the years after that, like cleaning up my act when things became really hairy, only to start them over like a month later. So I found my way into advertising, worked there for 5 6 years, which was pretty cool for a creative guy. Being in advertising is a pretty cool job. Earned good money, and then it kind of bored me. So I quit that, went into writing music, and I was extremely bad at that. But I have this stuff. I have tremendous discipline, and when I am focused on something and I want to do it, I don't stop until I am at least somewhat versatile at doing it. So I did music, kind of became recognized, and then I wrote songs for other people. And then one day they asked me, well, you write songs, you sing songs, why don't you perform songs? And I thought, oh yeah, I want to do that. And I fucking hated that. I hated that. I hated it. I felt so vulnerable on stage. And I was an addict. I was a drunk back then, and I smoked a lot of pot. So I was extremely unstable all the time. So I felt so, well, you're obviously looked at when you're on a stage, and I couldn't handle that at all, conscious. So I did that for 2 years. Then I went back to advertising, started my own online agency in 2000, which became pretty successful and big, and we were very revolutionary when it came to online creativity and products. And I was the creative director, and the only thing I had to do was show up most of the week, and then invent some stuff, create some stuff, make up some stuff, and then those things were sold to our clients, and most people were happy with that. But I was still, I had like developed this severe depression years prior to that. So I've been depressed for almost 20 years, I guess. I always used like different amounts of years, by the way. I have no recollection, to be honest, about how long it really was. But I was depressed, and then I had this, I think, around like 15 years of anxiety, until the moment that I was so afraid that I had to stay in my bedroom, not this one, in another bedroom, and I just couldn't go to the bathroom, which was like 2 meters from the bedroom. So I know that too, all these things that are so confusing. So I drank, I smoked cigarettes a lot. I was a very cynical person, very sarcastic, very verbally aggressive and harsh person. And I was so fucking scared deep inside, which kind of makes sense for people who are very aggressive. That's mostly, I guess, mostly fear, where that's coming from. And then in 2012, in October, I quit drinking. And it was not the first time, like with most people who are used to drinking a lot. But this time was the real deal. So I quit to win back the heart of the woman I was in love with. And that didn't work, but it kind of gave me some motivation and inspiration for the first couple of months, which was very helpful. And then I wanted to quit 10,000 times. Didn't. Just somehow had all this insight about hanging in there, like for 5 seconds more, 1 minute more. And I was, I walked over to the liquor store. I was standing at the entrance of the liquor store, staring inside at the shelves with whiskey and vodka, and I went back home, and then I went to bed. So I did that for half a year. Then I went into a clinic because well, here's the thing. I have this tendency to underestimate stuff, which is very helpful, because when you start something, most people quit it really fast because they get overwhelmed with how complex and difficult and big it is and how many steps it takes. And I always think that when I start something, I will be really good at it very fast. So that's how I got into advertising. And then after a year in advertising, I realized I wasn't that good. but I could be good. But then I was already a year in. So, and that's how this happened for me many times. And also with the addiction, once I was like 3 months in, I realized, well, maybe I really can do this. I was very naive because I thought once I quit, life will be amazing. Like instantly, like I will be rewarded by the universe, like in infinite ways. And that didn't happen. So I was very, very, very disappointed. But I didn't revert to the drinking somehow. So it took me, I think it took me a year to establish some firm ground. And then the spiritual journey began.